Hello and welcome back to Frequency Intuitive. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you're doing well. If you're not doing well, let's see if we can get you some clarity, some activations, just feeling a little bit better, soothed, good, clear. Depends on what you're looking for. But if you've found this reading and you clicked on it, then we are in a similar frequency, which means that I'm tuning into your energy field and reading the situation about what you're currently going through, a group of you who are in a collective similar energy, and then we're going to be tuning into higher frequencies and finding out what possible solutions, outcomes, insights, advice, guidance, support is there. So we have, and the topic, there's also a topic. The topic is what's next? What's your next big breakthrough? What are you manifesting? And I'm looking about 60 days out because I'd like to take a peek into the rest of the year because it's the beginning of November when I'm filming this, 2025. But whenever you're finding this, it would be the next 30 to 60 days. I can't read energy too far out because, of course, you have free will. We all have free will, and your choices determine what happens next. So even if I read a certain energy, you can make a choice that, changes that or affects that. So that's why I don't like to go too far out. Just take what resonates. Of course, it's a collective reading, so not every single message will be for everybody. But I'll do my best to get as many messages as I can for as many people who are gathered here today. So we're going to start with choosing your pile. There's 4 piles, which I think are very aesthetically pleasing, if I do say so myself. Your little Virgo reader loves an aesthetically pleasing situation. And pile 1 is this card here. Let me see. I want to do a better job at showing you guys the cards. This is card 31 with Ammonite, and it also says Palla, P-A-L-L-A-S. I think that's the planet or the astrological influence. I don't know how to pronounce that. The word is trust, and it has a pearl on it. And for that, I chose this desert rose crystal. Thank you to all the viewers who tell me the correct names of the crystals, because it goes out of my head as soon as I read it on whenever I buy it, or I might look it up, and then certain ones, like the primary colors of crystals, your rose quartz and amethyst, I remember those. Pile 2, you have card 13. Oh, I just realized that's inverted of 31. I just noticed that, which is pile 1. I wonder if those are going to have inverted messages or something. With the moon, calcite is the crystal. Transition is the word. It also has a butterfly on it, so I chose this rose quartz and jade butterfly on the lily pad. Pile 3 is this card 28 with an emerald, with Mercury, and the word cognizance. And I chose this labradorite heart. I don't know, your girl doesn't have any emeralds around here today. And there's a faint little rainbow behind this one. And I think Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury. If those are additional influences to help you choose, but choose intuitively, of course. You can always choose more than one pile. Pile 4 is card 18 with citrine, the sun, the word clarity, and I chose this yellow crystal. It's very cold right now. The crystal is Celtic knot, and I don't know the name of this. I always say citrine, but now looking at this citrine, I don't think this is citrine. It might be. I feel like citrine is more valuable than I think I paid for that one. I don't know. Sometimes I just say extra information because I feel like it is relevant to the person choosing. So I'm going to be quiet now. You guys tune into the energy of each pile. Take your time, pause it here if you need more time. And when you're ready, click on your timestamp and I will see you in your group. Pile 1, thank goodness for you guys. Thank goodness. I feel like coming to this pile is like a oasis in the desert. I can't. Oh, you have the desert rose. I don't know why I feel that way. It's just like I get to some piles and I can feel the entangled energy that it's going to take some effort for me to communicate and unfurl that, and I'm happy to do that, and that's why I'm here. That's no judgment, just an observation that I'm communicating, because your guys' energy doesn't feel like that. Yours feels like a smooth, calm surface of the water. So you may be feeling like that now, so you may be like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. That's the vibe I'm in. Or this may be the energy you're going into. You have the card 31 with trust, ammonite, pala, the pearl here, and the desert rose crystal. You could have like just water, resonance with water. You could have like mermaid dreams or something, or like Lemuria, Atlantis. Did you just come through like a very difficult time? Because I feel like this heaviness, like I keep taking these deep breaths, like I've just been through like a war. And I'm like just catching my breath. But now I feel peace. Okay, let's start your reading. Well, we already started it before. Let's continue your reading. Yeah, let's get this again. Oh, the pillar. The pillar coming out. I don't know why I just said that in like a Jeopardy voice. I just said that like Wheel of Fortune. This is a Z. Okay. Whoa. And Get Wild. Okay. Coming out. We're just gonna go slow here till we wade through this energy. Yeah, I'm getting like Lemuria because, or Atlantis again, I'm saying the same thing, because if you see this pillar card, there's like almost like coral climbing up of it and little crystals coming out like it's been underwater or something. That's not the meaning of the card. That's just, I'm getting the heavy water here. Could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You don't have to be those signs. It could just be in your chart, or you could just resonate with water. Like maybe you feel best at your water. You have a lot of pictures of water in your home, or you always choose the color blue or turquoise or teal, or you paint with watercolors. Like there's just something where you always make that choice. You always feel drawn to that. You always, wow, that's like way too many cards. You always, but I did see success. Flow. I thought that said how. Oh, flow, of course. Of course you have flow. Flow like water. Okay. Flow. This is the strangest energy here. I feel like we have an inside joke, but like I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm laughing along with you guys, like, you know what I'm saying? But like I don't know the joke yet. So let's just keep going. But I feel like you like, you know the punchline and you're just like, I don't know if it's you or like your ancestor or a guide or something, but it's like, okay, I have to, in pile 3, I felt too short in this chair to do the reading, and now I feel the opposite. Now I'm just, don't mind me. Hello. Just getting up. Getting another pillow. Getting myself situated again. Now I have to change the way I sit for each pile. Oh, it's so much better. Let's just want to get cozy here. Yeah, like I feel like you know the punchline, or like the universe knows the punchline. Like someone's chuckling, like an ancestor, and it's like all will be revealed, and then you're like, oh, and then everyone's like, like checkmate in a good way, not like checkmate, like gotcha, just checkmate, like that was the master plan. Okay, so what's going on for you in the next 30 to 60 days? What are you manifesting? Look at this. Empathic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. Sound familiar? Oh yeah, we just said starseed. And we had that whole Lemurian thing. I don't know, is that a starseed? I never know with that one. But anyway. The vibe here is just so chill. I'm like, I don't even know what to do. Let's just keep going. Okay, so what are you, because like the reading is what's your next breakthrough, what are you manifesting next, but I don't really feel like you are that concerned about that. So like there's no, your desire is not pulling my energy forward to the solution. We're just sitting chilling like in a pool of water. Does that make sense? Is that how you feel? Like I don't feel like you actually need any information, want any information, or because there's no pull. You're completely neutral, which is a beautiful place to be, which is like super spiritually like enlightened and transcendent energy. So congratulations. I feel like you're just chuckling away like, why? Card 31 with why? Oh yeah, and you have trust. Okay, so you may be like, if you almost just clicked off this pile, if that's you, because you're like, I don't feel that energy. This is what you're going into. Something's going to happen. If you have questions about something, if you're like, don't know why something's happening, like I said, look at this. The book with the wings. That's what I said. There's like a divine plan. There's like there's a punchline. There's a checkmate. There's a, there's a joke you don't get yet, that when you get the punchline, you'll be like, oh, now I see why that had to happen. And then you're sitting pretty because of something. So you're just being encouraged, like flow with this. I know it's hard, like you flow and you have trust. But you also have this energetic sovereignty absorbing what's not yours. So there could be some like umbrella you need to put up, like an energetic bubble, and just have a bit of awareness about, you may, if you're feeling something that may not be yours, that may be the collective, especially if you don't know where it's coming from. Like if you feel depressed and you're like, why do I feel depressed? Like that's so random. Or if you feel like anger or tension, or it's really hard to describe what I'm feeling in this energy. I just feel like we're flowing in like down a lazy river, and I can't really pinpoint what you want to know. So I can't really like pull from the field the information for you, because I'm like, I don't know what you're ordering. So I'm like, I feel like I'm a waiter or a waitress taking your order. I feel like I'm standing at the table and you're sitting there just smiling up at me like, just going like, I'm not even hungry. That's how I feel. But I also feel like some of you are like, no, I am hungry. Like I want answers. So it's like I'm reading your future energy, and then I'll get pulled back to like where you are currently. For some of you are already in that energy of just peaceful acceptance. So let's just keep pulling cards and just see what comes up. I'm just gonna like intuitively pull a different deck for you than I did for the other. Wait, what pile are you? Oh, you are pile 1. Okay. For some reason, I felt you were pile 2 for a second. But I've already filmed pile 3, if you're wondering what I'm talking about. Like, all of your cards are so... Like, I could dive deep into all these cards, but, like, I don't feel... I don't know know, like it's necessary. It's the strangest. I've never had this feeling in a reading. It's probably only making sense to you. Like the only thing I can attribute it to, and I don't know because I've never, I don't even know. I can't say that. Let's just say plant medicine. Can I say that? I've never done plant medicine, but if you have, that's the only thing I would imagine I feel like. Like I feel like I'm just floating and I'm weightless and I'm like, whatever, man. Bob Marley, like, don't worry, be happy. I don't know. And then like I have information I could give you here, like this Get Wild, like the empathic star seed, but you're just like, meh, it's all good. It's all good. Am I focused on what I want most came out for you. One reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we direct our focus. Is that we never direct our focus. Okay. I'm feeling a little bit of that. There is no direction. That's what I said, but I don't think it's a bad thing. We never concentrate our power. Yeah, I do feel that. I feel like it's very diluted here. Like we're just kind of going with the flow. We don't really know what direction, but I feel like you need to be going with the flow. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. That's a quote by Tony Robbins. And today's soul action is what you focus on grows. Today, ask yourself, is my life a reflection of my values or do I need to make adjustments, prioritize? So, is there a part of you that wants more directed energy? Like, are you not liking this feeling of floating? This flowy feeling? Do you feel like kind of bored or unsure or uncertain or like apathetic? Part of it feels enjoyable because it's like this peaceful, serene calm. But I could see how if there's too much of that, you don't have enough contrast to really feel like you know what you want to go for. Wait, did I already get that deck? Yeah, I did. You know what? That's not what we're going to do. Let's clarify this energy. We need clarification, please, for pile 1. What are they manifesting in the next? Whoa. Okay. First, you're manifesting, determination. Okay, so I'm not getting determined energy here at all. Illumination and balance. Okay. So illumination is things coming to light, things becoming clear, things coming out of the darkness. So when you're flowing, sometimes it can be very feminine moon energy, like feminine energy, not feminine gender. The very moon, it's like you can't really put your finger on it. It's very hard to define. It's only known by the knower. It's like, it's in the shadows. It's unclear. It's not like a shining beacon in the night. It's like, if you know, you're feeling your way through it. You might miss it, you might not. You might see it, you might not. It's like this moon here on this card. It's hazy. I can only make out the outline of the illustration. It's just shadowy. If it was illuminated, you would be able to see everything around you. Okay, now we're getting something. Now we're getting somewhere here. Now we're getting the crux of the matter here. If this was illuminated, you could find your way. So I feel like as much as you're like kind of content and accepting of the situation in some aspects or of where you are in life right now, there's a part of you that needs to narrow in your focus on what you want, what you truly want. Like, are you afraid to reach for things for some reason? Is there fear stopping you from identifying what you want? Like, I want a loving relationship, or I want a comfortable home, or I want financial stability, or I want comfort in my body and wellness. Absolute wellness, I heard. I want, friends. Is there a part of you that doesn't want to like reach for that? Because you're bringing in this more balance. You're bringing in a more of a determined energy where you know where you're going, you can see where you're going, you know your plan, you know your next steps, and your energy is more balanced, I think, between the masculine and the feminine. Right now, I feel like you're in your feminine energy. You're floating, you're flowy, you're allowing, you're accepting, you're surrendering, you're open. But I think this balance needs to come in, and that's what's coming in. Where the masculine energy comes in, it is the doing, it's the action, it's the determination, it's the let's get this done, let's figure out what needs to be done to achieve what we desire. So I would say that's the shift that's coming in for you in the next phase of your life that you're manifesting. But I still want more information. I'm having trouble even intuitively selecting your cards. It's like I'm second guessing myself because your energy is not strong. Like, not that your energy is not strong. Your energy is strong in a peaceful way. Your energy is not, like I said, desiring any particular thing. Look at this card. It's got 2 little feathers. Oh, you got the robin. See, new growth and potential is on the horizon. Reach out and embrace it. And that reach out is really highlighted for me. Like I said, it's like I feel like I'm standing at your table taking your order as your waitress, but you won't reach out and tell me, point to what you want on the menu. Why is that? Can we clarify why that is? Why do I feel that they don't want to hope or wish for anything? Okay, so random. I just heard the word Brene Brown. Is that a person, like a spiritual teacher or scientist or something? I feel like I vaguely know this name, but I don't know who that is. Maybe look that up and see if there's something in this person's work that would help you. I'm just seeing the word vulnerability and like afraid to be vulnerable or afraid to hope or wish. Just Google that and see if you're drawn to something. Brene? Is that the Brene? Like I'm seeing the word Renee but with a B and then Brown. Brene Brown? I'm sorry if that's not a person. I think it is. Whoa, stop. I'm taking this. Respect. This is way too many, so we're not taking those. Let's get one more though. Yeah, there's those mushrooms. There's that plant medicine. I don't know what we're like allowed to say on here regarding that, so that's why I'm saying plant medicine. Not everything's legal everywhere. And I also don't know what I'm talking about because I don't like know that world. Like I know there's like plant medicine and then I know there's like other things. Anyway, but if you know what I'm talking about, then there's a message here for you. So card 26 came out and we were clarifying, why do you feel like you don't want to reach and hope for anything or put your focus on anything? We got respect, which doesn't help me at all. We got reproach. Card 25. Oh, that was my arm, by the way, making that noise. Okay. Making a little more sense now. Oh, you got, yeah, duality, okay, and learning. Okay. Some of this is making some more sense. Let me get this all lined up. So when you were growing up as a child, were you reproached or criticized or told not to stop asking for things, stop wanting for things, don't ask for things, don't hope for things, money doesn't grow on trees, you can't always have what you want? Whew. So part of you, I feel like, is your upbringing. Part of you, I feel like you had to respect, your elders or your authority figures, and you weren't allowed to really hope or dream or imagine. So you became used to being in someone else's flow of energy. Like, this is what my authorities or guardians want, so this is what we're doing. This is what my partner wants, so this is what I'm doing. And you kind of float along in someone else's, like, lazy river. And for some reason, I feel like you're in a position now, I don't know if you've been released from that or you're breaking away from that, but where there's this new growth and potential. But your encouragement over okay, we hit the nail on the head. We got it. We got there. In the next 30 to 60 days, what you're manifesting next in your life, and then I'll get to these other cards, is you have been feeling in a phase of like you're floating. Like you're just flowing. Maybe parts of it bother you, maybe parts of it don't, but you feel like you have no direction, you have no clear vision for your life, you don't know what you should want, you don't know what you can want, you don't really know where you're going. You're just like existing, and you're fairly content. It's not like, I don't feel like there's a lot of like difficult negative energy here, but I do feel that you've been wondering what's next for you. Now this could be like you've been in a very long-term relationship and then your partner passed on, or the relationship broke down or something, or you've been with your parents, or you were in some sort of construct, like maybe you were caring for sick parents or something, and then now that situation has dissolved and now you're just kind of on your own and you don't feel a sense of purpose. Maybe you've moved into retirement and now you don't have that sense of purpose, or your kids have moved out of the house and you've kind of always been in someone else's flow. And now this next phase of your life, you're being called to get wild. Get wild. Look at this. Get flippin' wild. Get wild. I don't know why I'm saying it like this so many times. Like, I feel like the phrase is so important. Get wild. Like, and now I don't mean wild like get irresponsible, but wild like go back to your true nature. Like, what do you really want? Who are you really? What really lights you up? Get a little outside the box. A little outside of people's expectations for what your life should be like. Like I see someone like dancing, singing, creative expression that you didn't even know was there. Like artist. Just doing something completely like just for you. And balancing these masculine and feminine energies where you're channeling your feminine creative side, but then you're putting it into practice. So like you're having the idea, but then you're balancing it with your masculine energy to like write the book or put it on a canvas or do the reading or set up the website or create the item, or I just wanted to say do your hair. And I feel like there's no one left to criticize you, or maybe they are, but I feel like you've tuned it out, this reproach and this respect. And you have this duality here, see, with the balance. There's some part of you that you're balancing. Now, this could be spiritual duality. This could be that feeling of, is it okay to manifest and create and want in the material plane? A lot of spiritual people struggle with this, right? Because we think material things are, not worthy of us, of our attention, of our spiritual energy. It really just depends on your belief system and where you are in life. There's so many schools of thought, and everyone has their own path to the truth, and you have to follow what's right for you. But that can be something that's coming up here. A lot of times we wonder, like, do I just completely surrender to the divine, or like what degree of my own free will and soul's desires are woven into that? And so that could be what you're kind of unpacking in the next I want to say 6 months. Okay. This could be up to 6 months for some of you, because I feel like you're in a phase where you're really becoming like this. Yeah. Learning. Yeah. Did I just say that? Did I just say where you're learning, unpacking? Yeah. Like, I feel like you're navigating this. You're figuring this out. You're figuring this out. You're figuring out this duality. You're figuring out this balance. You're figuring out how to be here with you clearly have an empathic nature, how to create your own energetic boundaries and what's okay and right for you to feel and desire and want and pursue and focus on. For some reason, I feel like you've almost taken it all down to brass tacks, where it's like, I just see someone sitting in a room in meditation, chanting, but it's like, how long can you do that without contrast? Because then you don't have growth and evolution. But it's not abandoning that. It's just incorporating other aspects of this material world to whatever degree your soul is asking of that with this Get Wild card. And I don't want to overlook that you have trust and you have why. So I feel like the why, like something happened that created a why for you. Either a transition, of someone into the non-physical or something, or a situation that you've been put in where were put in your past. Like we started, was that your reading when we started that? Where I feel like there was a lot of questions that you wish you had answers to, that maybe you just had to accept and go with the flow. And you almost, abdicated your own personal free will, possibly because you had to. Like I said, if you were in a very strict household or religious upbringing or something where you were born into that and you kind of had to like absorb their tenets, you know. And then, but I feel like now you're at this place where you're like, like, no, I am free, and I just don't even know how to navigate this. Like, you're learning. Like, be patient with yourself, be gentle with yourself as you figure this out. I want to say there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. It's an exploration. It's an exploration into you, into balance in your world, in your field, into what degree do you trust, what degree do you ask questions, what degree do you flow, what degree do you assert. This is what you're uncovering in the next chapter of your life. You're becoming, what's the word? Like, when when duality is completely balanced, you're becoming like this, I don't know, I want to say balance, but that's not the word. Like, see how these two pillars are balanced? You're becoming, you're becoming, like, I want to say like embodied or integrated, realized. You're becoming fully realized. I don't know if that makes sense. But I am going to close up your reading because there was a lot of information here, and I'm going to let it settle and let you process that and not add more onto the pile. I hope you got your messages and that it was clear to you. Only take what resonates, of course, in these readings. Thank you so much for being here. If it did resonate and you want to like, subscribe, comment, I love hearing from you. Thank you so much if you've already done those things. And if you don't feel called to do those things, no worries. I'm honored that you trusted me to be your reader here today in any case. If you are going to another pile, if you feel drawn there, then I'll see you there shortly. And if not, I'll see you in another reading on another day. Bye. I just wanted to say hola, pile 2. So there could be Spanish viewers here. Hello, if that's you. Let's find out what's your next breakthrough. What are you manifesting? What's next in the next 30 to 60 days. You're pile 2, right? Yeah. Little butterflies here. Oh, let's go back to your card. So you have card 13 with transition, the calcite, and the moon. Breathe. Okay, card 29. Very similar images on those two cards, with kind of like the greenery and the flower in the middle, like a blooming and opening. Oh yeah, you have transition. Okay. Okay. Yang. Okay, card 1. So masculine energy. That's energy, not gender. Like the duality of the yin yang. Yin being the feminine, yang being the masculine. Oh, you guys were, okay, so yeah, so pile 1 was 31, and I felt that there may be some mirroring or something, and they actually got the duality card, and their reading was heavy on the feminine energy, so it's possible you have messages there too, if you felt drawn to it. Let me take that if it resonates. Inner Earth. You'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. Okay. So, obviously, you've come here because something's going on. You're in a transitionary state. You're in moon energy, which means something could be unclear. You don't really see your next step. So far, you've been encouraged to breathe, and then there's going to be some action you need to take. But I love this card. You'll survive this. New solutions, new beginnings. Because right now you may not feel that way. You may feel like very unclear, very insecure about like the future, about what's going on, about your next move, about what to do. And that's why you're coming to a reading. So you've come to the right place. Now let's find out what's your next breakthrough. What are you manifesting? What's on deck for the next 30 to 60 days. And remember, you are the captain of your own ship, but this is just the energy I'm reading that you're currently in. You can always change the trajectory at any point by making new decisions if you don't like where you're currently at. But this will just give us some clarity, some insight, some guidance to navigate this storm. Are you a singer? Because I am not. So that was somebody out there, not me. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Seems like a lot, but we'll take it. 3, especially because the other deck was cold for you. Patience at the turtle shell there. I know you don't want to hear that. Play. Oh, this came out in pile 3. Not this card, but another deck with the word play. Yeah, pile 3. So you could definitely have messages there, because that's not a very common like card phrase to come out. I think it's only in 2 decks and both of them came out in this reading. Higher perspective. Okay, definitely some people with not English as their first language here, because we started with the Ola and then I just did a weird accent. I like this card. I don't think I get this a lot. It has the knowing eye, the wings. I mean, I can already feel where this is going. And I don't want to tell you the same thing I'm sure you've already heard in every other reading, probably in other of my own readings, because this message has been coming out a lot. And I just don't want to be another voice saying, just breathe, have patience, there's a higher purpose, it's going to be fine. Like, I know that that's the message. It's just like, can we get some more? Like, does it always have to be so nebulous and like undefined? Let's try. We would like some more clearly defined information about, or reassurance or encouragement about, specifically what are we manifesting in the next 30 to 60 days. What can this viewer look forward to? What can they feel resolute about, confident about? Show us the money. What do you got? Okay, this deck. Oh! Wow. If you're not watching, this big red apple with a pile of gold coins came out saying second house resources after I said, show us the money. Okay, so if you're concerned about finances, feel assured. Like, we were getting quite chirpy there, being like, we want more information, and like the field got just as chirpy back in like the most playful way, saying you're gonna get some resources here, some supports coming in. You're getting the arrow through the apple. You're hitting the bullseye. The arrow through the apple is very like, if you're out in the wild and you need to hunt because you need food, because you need to survive, it gives me that. Like, you've achieved your goal. You're getting what you need. You're going to be able to eat. You're going to be able to live. You're going to be provided for. You're going to find a way to be provided for. And I can feel a great sense of relief, and I actually feel super happy that we were quite chirpy and we got that information, because I really feel, quite frankly, that that's what some of you needed to hear. Okay? Sometimes, like, we're in a 3D world and we can't just always be nebulous, oh, the universe will provide. Yeah, we know that, but sometimes I want to know that I can pay my bills. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I'm feeling your guys' energy. I'm like all hyped up for you. Card 40. Well, I'm very happy about that. Like, that just made me feel so like, yes. Now, let's get a clarification card. Is there anything you need to do specifically for these resources to come to you? Like, do you need to act on a certain idea? Do you need to call on support from someone? Do you need to, like, you know, diversify your income or something? I would like to know more. Where can we... Oh, not me feeling drawn to this deck that I hardly ever feel drawn to. More information. Oh, before I started, okay, I feel like this is important, then we'll get to that card. Before I started this, I heard the phrase, you just need to add, sometimes you need, what is it? What did I hear? I meant to tell you right when I started. I was putting hand cream on, here's the backstory. music on the back of this deck. I was putting hand cream because my hands are so dry in Canada right now, and we're going into like fall, winter, and it does a number on the skin with the heat on. Anyway, and I was putting hand cream on, and I put my hand cream on, and it just wasn't enough. And I got the like idea, like, oh, I should put a little bit of like almond oil in there. Like, heard for pile 2, sometimes you need to just mix in a little bit more. And then I was supposed to tell you guys that. So if that helps, I know it sounds like so vague after I said it now and like that big lead up, but I feel like there's something you just need to like add. Like, do you have like a project on the go or something where if you just added in something extra, because then the hand cream became more emollient and it like gave me the moisture that my hands needed. I just needed that little bit of oil mixed in. But it was like a message for you guys. Writing. Okay, so you got writing. You heal, inspire, teach, and entertain with the words you write. So for some of you, is there something you can write or produce that would help with this financial situation? Let's get another one. Maybe journaling. Can you write it down? Do you need to write to someone, like for a grant or for financial support? Take whatever resonates from that. You heal, inspire, teach, and entertain with the words you write. And I love how there's like an angel over this figure's shoulder, like helping them write. So if that's confirmation, like if you don't know what I'm talking about, then that's probably not your message. But if that's confirmation for someone, then that's definitely part of your message. Whoa! Talk to your angels. Okay. Yeah, look at this. Instead of worrying, ask for divine guidance. I know that sounds obvious and you may be like, yeah, like I have, duh, like I've been praying every night. I would just, if you've asked once, that's enough, but I would just have faith that that's being heard and that the solutions are coming. The higher perspective, the breathe, the patience, the transition. You guys, like the way divine timing matters. Often I would say it's like a 1 to 3 day buffer zone. I find in my reality, everyone manifests differently. When I have like a need, or it depends on how big it is. Small things I manifest sometimes before the problem even occurs, which is kind of annoying because then you're like always ahead of it and you're like, what do I need this for? And then the thing happens and you're like, oh, like I'll have like a dustpan and then I break the vase, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, that's why I randomly went to the closet and got the dustpan and the vacuum out without thinking why, and then something smashes and I'm like, oh. But anyway, I digress. But then for bigger things, like if I need funds or resources or an answer about something, I find there's like a 1 to 3 day buffer where I'll get frustrated because I wake up the next day and the problem's still there. And then I wake up on day 2 and the problem's still there. And then on day 3, you almost forget because then it's like resolved. And then you look back like a month later and you're like, oh, that's so crazy how I was so worried about that. Then the solution came, like I got a check and rebate in the mail from the government and I was able to pay for whatever I needed. Or, you know, my friend paid me back from 5 years ago that I forgot I even owed her money, or she owed me money. And then I was able, those resources came in. Or a bill that I thought I had going out was way less than I thought, and so I had extra funds. Like, and it's almost like as soon as the solution comes in, we forget that we were even worried about the thing when it was like really stressing us out. So if you've been talking to your angels, then just trust that that's coming down the pipeline, the solution. I know it's hard when you're worrying about it, but this is reassurance then for you. Okay, what else do we need here? I feel like that kind of was like the end of your message, but like how long have I been recording? 11 minutes. Okay. When I looked at the what's it called? The phone recording, it was 11:44, 1144, if that's meaningful to someone. So, okay, let's go back to this play card. Do you feel, okay, for one, I'm getting two messages here. One is, do you feel kind of like you're in a holding pattern, like you can't play? And like I said, you might want to listen to pile 3 because the similar message came out in a more intense way. Do you feel like you're in a holding pattern because there's something here with this, you'll survive this, that you're like not allowing yourself to kind of live life or let your hair down anymore? Maybe you've stopped all of like your activities that you enjoy doing because you're like, I'm just so worried about this. Like I only have to focus my energy here. The thing is, the frequency of play is very lighthearted and it's very allowing. It's very feminine energy. Maybe you're too much in your yang. Maybe that's why this card's coming up here. Maybe you're too, because I knew that was going to happen. Like I said, Pile 1 was very in their feminine. I think you guys are very in your masculine because your third card Your third card, you got masculine energy, yang. I think you're overdoing and because you're trying to find solutions. So you may be like working multiple jobs, looking for solutions, frantically, searching for an answer about something. But sometimes these things just they just take time. And I'm not saying don't take action, don't not take action if it's inspired action. But if it's not inspired action and you're trying to push things forward, you can still do that if it makes you feel better. I'm the type of personality that I just feel better if I'm taking action. So that's already improving my energy. So you can still do that. You know what I mean? For example, if you're looking for a job, if you don't have a job, and in the big picture, the higher perspective, the perfect job is going to be offered to you at the perfect time. It's coming down the pipeline. So whether you take action or not, whether you start searching for jobs and sending out resumes over the next, say it's coming in a month, over the next month, is irrelevant to the fact that this ex-coworker or ex-boss is going to reach out in 30 days and offer you this position. But in those 30 days, there's the type of personalities who feel better in feminine energy of just playing and allowing and just distracting themselves with other things, maybe meditating, journaling, self-reflecting, enjoying time with family and friends, and just patiently waiting for the manifestation to come and acting on inspired impulses. Of course, you're never just not doing anything. If something comes up where you feel strongly, then in your feminine, you would know to shift into your yang and make that call or send out that resume or whatever. But then there's some people who feel better in their yang energy, where even though they know if they could fast forward, in 30 days they're getting that call with that job offer, they can't sit still. So in those 30 days, they need to be putting out resumes and they need to be making calls and they need to be, networking and they need to be investigating every possible lead in order for their own peace of mind at night to lay down in their bed and feel that they can sleep. Then that's okay too. You just have to know how your energy feels most settled and most comfortable. But you could be coming to this reading because it's kind of giving you a little bit of awareness about that. Are you overdoing it because you got breathe right away? Maybe you need to let go of the reins a little. Maybe you got the horses going at full tilt and you could lay back on that a little bit and just let them, trot a little bit. If that's the word, because this thing is coming down the pipeline, and because you have the play and the resources and the higher perspective and the patience and the breathe, there's some divine timing here, which I'm sure that it's really, you just really can't push it forward because it's just coming in when it's coming in, but it's going to come in the perfect timing. It's going to come in when you need it, before you need it. So don't worry about the timing. But in the meantime, you can raise your frequency by being in the frequency of play, which get into their imaginary worlds, draw, create, sing, dance, be silly, be in nature, go for walks, be playful, imagine, envision, do things that light you up, that feel like play to you, that don't feel like work, because it's not for nothing. It's because it allows your frequency to raise. Just like taking a nap. People think, taking a nap, I'm not being productive. But taking a nap, you're releasing resistance. And when you wake up, you're fresh again. And you're usually able to receive downloads, information, ideas, intuitive insights more easily and more clearly than when you've got hold of some sort of trajectory of thought, like a dog with a bone, and you can't see outside of that. And you're just circling in that. So a nap could be very effective depending on what frequency you're in, and play can be very effective depending on what frequency you're in, whatever is play to you. Yeah, I want to push this forward, but I can't push the energy forward. I feel like it's very succinct. I feel like you got what you needed. I feel like you knew what you came for. You knew what you were looking for. I feel like you got your message. You got the confirmation, the reassurance about exactly what to do, about what's coming in, about how to navigate this, about the trust, the patience, the timing. And I can tell you, just from experience, how many times in my life that really is how it plays out. At one point I needed a job and I just kept trusting. I was in my feminine energy at that point, and because I had been in my masculine energy for so long, trust me, I would have, like I said, I would have been just going wild, sending out resumes and calling everyone I knew and putting out ads on Kijiji and Facebook and, making sure that I had income coming in. But I had some time, because at that time I had a package. It's very similar to the experience I just went through, but this was a different time in my life. And I was just in my feminine. I was decorating my new home. I was just kind of patiently waiting. I was I trying to keep the wolf from the door because I had enough money to get to a certain point, but I knew that deadline was coming up. I knew that I couldn't afford the place I was living unless money started coming in, and all of this. But for some reason, I just kept trusting. I was just at a point in my spiritual path where I had seen it happen so many times that I knew something was going to come, but I had no idea what it was going to be. And just one day I was in my kitchen about 8 months in, about, I would say, 3 months away from when I needed to have funds or be, evicted type thing. And I got a call from an ex, boss, and he said, hey, I've started this new thing and I'd love for you to work for me. And he hired me on, and then I was able to get my starting date closer to that 3-month buffer that I had so that I could continue to enjoy my time off. But it's like, if I had seen that was going to happen, which is why I was using that as an example, because it's happened to me a couple times, then I wouldn't have bothered to feel that stress. And I feel like that example's coming up because, and it's natural, of course you're going to feel some stress, it's natural, we're humans. Until we can see the solution, we really still wonder, right? But I think your reading is communicating that message to you. That's why it's coming up. This is going to work out. Try and be a little bit more open and curious and playful about it. Give yourself permission to lay off the gas a little bit if you are furiously searching or furiously looking for something or trying to find a solution. Ask your guides, your support, the universe, your angels for help. Trust that they're working on your behalf. Trust that the divine timing is lining up for this transition that you're in, that it's going to work out. The resources are going to come in, and you will survive this as new solutions and beginnings are going to be finding their way into your world in this next chapter of your life. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you found your message. If it did resonate, feel free to subscribe, comment. Thank you so much if you have done that already. If not, no worries. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you today. If you're going to one of the other groups that I mentioned, then I'll see you there shortly for more messages. And if not, I'll see you in another reading on another day. Bye. See? Look what's happened. This is pile 3. I'm saying this because what happens is after I film the intro, I move all the cards to the side, and then I intuitively feel into which pile wants to be recorded first, even though I try to fight that instinct, and I always try to start at pile 1 because my Virgo tendencies order. And then a pile will stand out calling to me, and this one did. Then I get confused because I'm filming it in a different order. So this was 3, right? Yes, this was 3. You guys are pile 3. With the emerald, with the rainbow behind, with Mercury and the word cognizance and card 28 and the labradorite. There's strength here. Something about the image on this pile, the emerald with this black. I don't know if it's part of the unpolished, where the emerald was unearthed from cave matter still attached or something, but it has this Egyptian kind of all-seeing eye. It has these 2 white flowers. I don't know what they are. Just something about this pile and this card gives this very I almost want to say regal strength. It's a strength that's just so inherent in you that it's unshakable. And I feel you maybe have a hard exterior because of maybe things, traumas or situations that you've gone through in your life that you had to. I also feel very short in this pile, short, stature. I want to raise my chair up, but this chair doesn't raise. I don't know if you guys are very tall or your energy is just very strong is the only word. You have a towering energetic presence. So either you're tall in stature or your just soul's lineage is super regal or something. If you know what this means, comment down below. Maybe you've had a past life or past life reading or Akashic reading and you've heard that you have I feel I'm a court jester coming to your majesty, and I'm tripping over my words and not making any sense. Okay, so you might know what that means, but let me pull myself together here. Yes, what I'm getting from this card is like you have possibly a kind of strong, oh my gosh, I just saw that there's another eye on top of the eye, which I did not see before. How was I looking exactly at that and I didn't see that? This is one of those piles where I'm getting so much information just from the card. Wow. But what I'm trying to get out here that I keep getting sidelined is that I get this sense that you're like very soft on the inside, but a lot of people don't get to see past your kind of stern, more reserved exterior. I just heard the word avoidant, like people might say, oh, you're avoidant, you know, those like attachment styles. But you're like, no, I just am very discerning about who I let access my energy because of what I've experienced in my life, and I'm not going to let myself go through that again. So if that resonates for you, anything that I'm saying, then you're definitely in the right place for your energy check-in. Also, Virgo and Gemini, as I mentioned in the opening, could be strong placements in your chart if you're into astrology. And I have to pause the video because I have to fix this chair situation. This is my normal filming chair, but for some reason, I just feel like I'm straining to sit up and like read this energy. So I'm gonna just fix my chair so that I don't get a strained back, and I'll be right back. All right. I know that sounds like so unrelated, but I can't explain it. It's just like an energy thing. I feel so much better. I'm at like a proper height now to read this energy. In this chair, I had to give myself like a mini booster seat. I made it of like my yoga blanket, and like I'm sitting higher now with the pillow. Okay. Why don't we get started? See, I can't even get that deck for you. What is going on here? Okay, so first we're reading what's next for you, your next big breakthrough, what you're manifesting next in the next 30 to 60 days. I just feel drawn to get this deck for you. The word emerald keeps being highlighted for me. It's possible that someone's name, like Emery, or like a derivative of someone's name, or like Gerald, like the R-A-L-D part, or like Ronaldo, or Emily, or Amelia. Because it keeps being shown to me in like the letters, and the letters are moving all around, like redistributing to make different words. Ralph, Ronaldo, did I say that? So that could be you or an ancestor, or someone meaningful to the situation you're thinking about. It doesn't have, that's not for everybody. That's like for 1% of the people here. Okay, this one. Stop. Okay, if you're not watching, I'm laughing because it says strength, which I'm pretty sure is like the first word I said when I opened your reading before I had pulled any cards. I said like, your energy is so strong. You have this strength. Whew, this is going to be a doozy. Buckle up, friends. Whenever the energy is so powerful. So this is it almost looks like a maple leaf, actually. Some sort of leaf here with like deep roots coming out of this, indicating strength. Yowza McYowza. So what is, okay, we'll have one card out, so let me just chill out. I'm like, what does this have to do with the reading? We have one card out. My impatient ales. Okay. But there's some strength here. So if you're not feeling this way, if you're like, no, I feel weak, quite frankly, then strength is coming in for you in the next like 30 to 60 days if you don't already feel that way, because it's like double down here. It's possible that a situation will just flip, so you will be in a position of strength, because I really feel this energy of people looking up to you, not in like a way of like you're a plebe and I'm like, you know, the Lord, not like that, but just like, sorry, I'm distracted by the fact that I've never said those two words in my life, and like, I don't think ever. Maybe Lord, but I've never said plebes. I don't even know what that is. But in a way of like reverence like you'll be in a situation where all of a sudden the situation will flip, where all of a sudden you're regarded as the authority, or people will seek you for advice or guidance, or you will be respected in this matter in the next 30 days, or 30 to 60 days. In your next chapter. How about that? Because time is an illusion. So this could happen tomorrow, this could be happening now, but just in your earthly timeline. Okay, that was it for that deck. Just wanted to have that strength card come out. So for pile 3, okay, the great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, then softening to love. So you could have Aries. I just get Aries always with Mars. I don't know why. I don't know if it's ruled. Is it ruled by Mars, or am I making that up? The great severing. Like how polarizing. Anger, conflict, then softening to love is the last phrase here. Okay. Let's find out what's going on here. Does that make sense? Are you in the midst of like a very tumultuous situation? Oh yeah, and your card, Cognizance, which is like a knowing. And that is the energy that I feel. It's like this, you just have this rooted energy of like, I know I'm right. Or okay, that came out without me even thinking. I'm laughing because I didn't even know I said that. I feel like I literally just channeled you. It was like, I know I'm right. But like, it's not that. It's just that you know you're right. I feel like there's a situation where you just know you're in the right. You know you're behaving with awareness, self-awareness, high conscious energy. You're holding the highest frequency you can. Of course, you may be like, dipping in and out of that. But I feel like there's a situation where you just inherently know you've done the right thing. Your intentions were good. You've acted with integrity. And I see the situation's going to right itself. And the person involved will be looking to you when their anger and this conflict dissipates and saying, wow, like I really respect how you handled that situation and how you conducted yourself in the midst of, this tumultuous energy. Is this? Oh. So it's also possible with this great severing that something is coming to an end. Now that would be something you want to end. Like this could be a job that you no longer want to be tied to. And maybe there's been, okay, the word just completely escaped me. There's been a contentious situation and then you're able to part ways after this or something. Or the person, if say you're at a job and it's an employee another coworker or a boss who's just like really contributing hostility and conflict to the situation unnecessarily, and then that comes to an end. The universe finds a divine plan comes into place and a divine path opens up and this person, exits from this workplace, for example. Something like this. And then apply that to if this is a relationship you're asking about or a friendship or something like that. I just heard time will tell, but I think one of you just said that. Like I heard someone say, well, time will tell. So that's true. I hear you. Time will tell. Okay. Yeah. Very polarizing energy here. So first you have this play card that says, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. There is a serious energy here. I wouldn't describe Mars energy as playful. I wouldn't do that. I would describe Venus energy maybe as playful. So there's some encouragement here calling you to, I want to say lighten up, but like that could be a very triggering phrase, especially if the situation is very intense. And it's funny because the whole reading, it's very polarizing. It's like one moment I'll have a lot of humor come up, like bubble up within me, and then the next moment I'll feel very like I'm in the principal's office and like I need to like stop making jokes. So I don't know what that is exactly, but the card encouragement coming up here is have fun and celebrate. So is there something going on in the situation where you feel like something's been held back and you don't know if you can celebrate yet? Like until this thing resolves, or until this thing comes to pass, or until this severing occurs. If that's the case, the energy is saying have fun and celebrate. Like kind of like don't wait. Oh, look at this. Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Ah, see? Persecution. Oi. Come out of the cave, persecution and expression. And there's a pyramid here. Because there's also the Egyptian eye here. If there's Egyptian heritage, or if you resonate, like maybe when I talked about your past life, maybe you resonate with having a past life in Egyptian, time and culture when the pyramids were being built or something. It just depends what you believe in. But that persecution word, I feel that with this Mars energy, anger, conflict, I feel like there's some amount of persecution coming at you for some reason. Like either just some very negative forces in your world, or some very like difficult energy or difficult karmic situations coming up. So let's find out. But it literally says come out of the cave and persecution expression. And then this have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. I feel like you're being called to kind of hold your position in your knowing that this is going to work out, that the truth will prevail. You don't have to remain in a holding pattern of tension or concern about it. This reading is trying to tell you, listen, you're in a position of strength. You're a strong individual. This is going to soften. This is going to become something to celebrate. This is going to be something that you can come out of hiding, because this great severing is going to occur where something's going to be ended. That's not serving you. That's not in alignment with you. Ended in a good way, something that you want to end, and that you can not be afraid to express yourself here. Speak your truth, speak your voice when the timing is right, because you have Mercury, which rules communication, and then you have share your voice. So that's not well, what it is it's very synchronistic. I don't know what I was trying to say, but for some reason I can only find like the light elements of the phrase I'm trying to say. I can't find like the opposite of it. It's very synchronistic that you have Mercury, which rules communication, and then you have share your voice. So something needs to be communicated or expressed by you in this situation. That's what is going to help this situation move forward. And you're going to be coming into this playful, fun energy where things feel more lighthearted. It's not so serious. This conflict and this anger is over. I feel like whoever's hearing this is really relieved to hear that. I feel like you came to this reading and you may have been watching readings looking for that information. I'm actually going to pull from the original deck that I pulled the placeholder cards from. It just kind of highlighted in my peripheral there. Also, I've been trying not to say it, but my back is really sore in your guys' reading, and I was completely fine before this. I feel like a tension in my mid-low back. It's like a gripping, almost like, it's like, I want to say like fear is gripping me. And I'm very sensitive physically when I'm reading. I pick up on the energy. I get a stomach ache if you're having anxiety. My heart will hurt if you're having heartbreak. So it's this discomfort. I feel tense and stiff, like I'm locked into a situation. So if you're feeling that way, this is going to be softening. But there's some things you can do now by being more playful about it. I feel like that's a hard word for me to say in this reading because the energy feels so like a sore thumb sticking out. But you do carry yourself in a reserved manner. And there is a great benefit to softening that up in regards to the situation, because when your frequency changes, then the situation also changes. So that message is coming up. If there's something you can do that feels good to you, that doesn't feel like super uncomfortable. Like I'm seeing like, you know, like a soldier going out and just like dancing in the rain. Like, you know, maybe it's not that extreme, but there's something that I feel like you do enjoy doing that would be playful. Like, do you enjoy like crocheting or like train building? I've seen that before in a reading. Or like a certain, there's like some hobby that people might not describe as playful, but it's like playful to you. Like paint, I'm seeing someone like painting on like ceramic, like vases or something, or little jars. I heard salt and pepper, like salt and pepper, or maybe you're like thrifting and like repurposing things, something like this, where it's like you may not, like the word playful may not apply. People may not say, oh, I would call that fun, like other people, but to you it is. So whatever that thing is, I would do more of that if you can weave it into, you know, your day. More messages for pile 3. Okay, I'm just gonna like wiggle around in my chair to get this blockage in my back to go, because it's a little bit distracting. Bring the wiggle in. Bring the wiggle in. Do you ever do that? Like if my energy feels stuck, I just do like figure 8s with like my torso. Like say I'm meditating and I feel like stuck energy. That's what it is. It feels stuck. Oh, curiosity. Okay, so this came out in pile 4 of the last reading. It was the placeholder card, not this deck, but the word curiosity was the placeholder for pile 4 on the last reading. So it's very interesting that this came out. So I wonder if some of you are from there, or I wonder if you have messages there. If you haven't already seen that reading, if I remember when I'm editing, I'll link it below your pile. But curiosity, card 26, Jupiter and Apophyllite is the crystal. Curiosity, and you have the word playful, which are kind of synonymous. Again, I don't know if that's the right usage of that word, but it's coming out. There's some, I kind of want to put them together. Yeah. And I'm going to get one of these. I'm getting a lot of this Rebecca Campbell card energy. Pile 3. Yeah, something about being curious, approaching this like with a curious nature instead of like, you know, like, why is this person so angry? Why am I so angry? Or is there something here that is benefiting me? Because like, what am I supposed to learn here? There's something about treating this like if you were a little kid playing detective, trying to find out the intentions of people and being curious about it, kind of like softening the whole tone of the situation. Okay, but why is this whole situation taking over? Like, why is this upside down? Yeah, look at this. Healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. And you have, this is a different deck. And you got the softening to love. Okay. My friend, my dear angel, earth angel, this is about your guard coming down. Whether this is about a situation specifically, or this is about just you and your energy field, this is about your shell cracking open, breaking down, softening. This is about you becoming a scrambled egg, my friend, instead of a hard-boiled egg. Yeah, you had to have so much strength to get through, and I feel like it did give you a lot of anger, resentment, and maybe moments of rage, which maybe you feel ashamed of. Don't. That's just that emotion trying to get out and express itself and feel heard, because there are things that happen in this world that are so not okay, that your spirit just, there can be rage. I have felt rage. And I'm not afraid to admit that. And like, it really needed to get out. Ooh, did it ever need to be expressed in a safe manner? You know, and I'm not going to lie. I did express rage to the person or persons who, you know, wronged me, in quotations, or whatever karmic lessons those were. And I think it needed to be done in that case. I mean, I don't want to say express rage, but the way I express myself could have been labeled as rage. Like, I didn't say it I did not say it quiet as a mouse. I said it roaring like a lion. Does that make sense? Okay. And I don't feel any regret about that. It felt like the right thing to do in that situation. So, I mean, I'm not saying to express rage in a hurtful manner. That's not what I'm saying. We want to operate at our highest integrity and our highest good as much as we are able to. We can't always, you know, do your best in every situation, but we're not intending to cause harm, emotional, mental, you know, damage or harm to anybody, even though, you know, you're probably retaliating or protecting yourself. Okay, we're getting in a deep hole here, but I feel your energy and I know what you're saying. Let's just say that. I completely understand where you're coming from. But if you need to express or share your voice in a big way that feels loud, and that's what the situation calls for, and that's what you feel you need to do, then that information is here in this reading. Also, the don't be so serious. But I feel like the cracking of the shell may come through expressing some anger. Like, maybe you need to go in the forest and like detox and like purge to Mother Nature, or stand at the edge of the water and scream. You know what I mean? Scream into your pillow, scream in a safe place where people know you're not being, you know, harmed. And I feel like that release and that honoring of your own emotions is going to allow you to soften, finally, and let down this guard. I am going to get some cards for you. Okay, so now that we know what's going on here, is there any more information? Because I'm having like a throat chakra thing since I started your pile. But is there anything else for pile 3 that they need to know? I love this healing is happening. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. Like, it's safe. That's what's coming up next for you that you're manifesting. It's a shift in your persona. It's a shift in how you feel you've had to carry yourself in this world. And maybe you have, but for some reason it's softening. I don't know if there's a person going to be introducing themselves, or persons, or a situation that kind of remedies this or allows you to feel safe. That kind of, you know, spurs this on. Oh, there's a lot here. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, sorry, I just saw that. Okay. Oh, that's not what I thought I picked up. Okay. I guess we're starting with this. 19, and delight. There's a lot of this energy here. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. And you have this play. Don't be so serious. Another word for that would be delight, this curiosity. You have like this heaviness and then this lightness coming in. That's what's happening over the next 60 days. And I feel like if you're here, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Then I feel like this is resonating. If not, I would pick another pile. If you're like, I don't really know what you're talking about. There's either a situation that's felt super heavy, that's going to be softening and lightening, that's caused your energy to have to harden and kind of become more reserved and more stoic, that's going to be lightening. Or there's just your entire persona has been like that based on past experience and trauma, you know, that you've experienced so far in this life. That's going to be softening and opening and becoming more curious, playful, delightful, pleasurable. Yeah, this is what I first saw, the root chakra. So this root chakra is your feeling of security in this physical world. And that's what I feel has felt threatened, that you needed to harden up. The frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well as the physical world. So there could be physical things like where to live, like your own physical body, like just sense of safety that weren't in place based on how you came through in this world and the situation that you were born into, that I feel is being healed on this next chapter of your life. And then you have coherence, card 13. The frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality we desire. So there's some sort of like heart coherence. You may want to look into Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. He goes into that mind-heart coherence a lot, and it's coming up here. Yeah, I feel like we really got to the heart of the matter. I always have this like impulse to continue reading just because I could just keep reading, for hours, but I don't have that much storage on my phone. Maybe one day I will get a camera with like more storage, and then I can do those like super long readings I see readers post. But right now, here today, I feel like your message has come through. What's happening in this next chapter of your life is you're going to be able to soften to life. There's some circumstance or event or person, I keep saying person, that's going to either come in or has come in that's going to help you navigate this, and it's going to create an environment or a feeling or an energy or a frequency around you that is new to you, that you've never felt before. That's going to allow you to start to feel safe to let this guard down. That's going to allow you to start to feel safe in your body, in this physical world, in your environment. It could be like a home coming in, or an environment or a relationship where you're like, wow, I feel so safe. I feel heard, I feel accepted, I feel I can be myself, I feel I can be vulnerable, I feel like I can let this shell crackle off of me and allow my vulnerability to come through. I feel like I can be open, I feel like I'm held, and of course you're going to find that within yourself too, and probably before this person comes in, because it'll mirror on the external. But I feel like it's also going to be a, what is that word? Like impetus for that. It's going to be a jumping off point for you to feel that way, or it could be like in a completely new environment coming in, like your work dynamic changing, like I said, or suddenly you feel safe again because this kind of hostile person has been removed from the situation, or you've been able to find another place to be where you feel safer. There's, in your next 30 to 60 days, this next chapter of your life, you've manifested calm, playful, delightful, peaceful, softer energy where you can swim in those waters where I feel like you've been in like the deep end of really frigid waters your whole life, and this is like you're swimming okay, you're swimming to it's more shallow, safer, warm water, like warm springs, and there's a waterfall, and there's beautiful flowers, and there's the sun out, and there's kind people all around. Like that's what I feel you're manifesting in the next 30 to 60 days. I hope that you got your message. I hope that resonated for you. If it did, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you if you've already done those things. If you don't feel called to do those things, no worries at all. I feel honored that you've trusted me to be your reader. Thank you so much for spending your time here. If you did feel called to that other reading that I'll link below, then I'll see you there. Or if you felt called to another pile for more messages on a different theme, then I will see you there shortly. And if not, then I'll see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hi, pile 3, or what the heck? Hi, pile 4. It's weird when it's something, I'm thinking something in my head and then something else comes out. I was thinking pile 4 and I said hi, pile 3. So maybe you have messages there. I don't know. You have card 18 in clarity with the citrine and the sun. And I heard as soon as I sat down and pressed record, Ollie Ollie Uck skin free. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's like when you're playing tag and you get to like home, like safety zone or something, and you say like, Aliaxkin free. I have no idea. I used to say it as a kid, but now that I'm saying it as an adult, I don't remember why we said that. It means you're safe, or like you're home, or you're like untouchable. So that has something to do with your reading. And you have sun here with clarity. Sun card, sun is shining on you, my friend. Could be musical people here. Usually when I randomly sing, it's because there's musical energy in the reading. Got opportunity coming out. Okay, so a golden opportunity is what I'm hearing. Wow, your energy is moving really fast. The other three were, were much more like slower paced. You have two, gee, burst. Okay, ask, riddle me this. Why are your cards all turquoise if you're not looking? Look at them. They're all turquoise water. Very interesting. You have Between Worlds, Treasure Island, and To the Sea. And all three of them, you have a turtle in the water, a flamingo standing in the water, and a paper boat with a fairy in the water. And you have opportunity. I feel like this is making sense to someone. If you don't know what this is, then this could be a predictive reading. Like sometimes, I don't often get those. I usually get like I've got 1 foot in the past or the current, and I've got 1 foot in like where you're going in the future, even though those don't exist, but you know what I'm saying in terms of like human timelines. But yours could be like, you could just be like chilling, and then this thing presents itself. So let's see, because the opportunity came out, and with sun is usually like success, like the sun is shining on you, something becomes illuminated, something becomes clear, something becomes presented, something kind of like is achieved, or I just keep seeing opportunity. I keep hearing gold and opportunity. And then Treasure Island. And To the Sea. You could be traveling. This could be going somewhere, visiting something, someone, a vacation. I'm getting vacation energy for sure. Okay. What else we got here? Yeah, or you're free of something, because I keep hearing that. Aliaxkin free. Aliaxkin free. Oh, I know what it was. It's like when you were playing tag, you'd say like, or like manhunt or something, you'd say like this tree is safe. If we reach this tree, it's home. So then when you ran to it and you didn't get caught and you touched the tree, you would say Aliaxkin free, or whatever the marker was. So I feel like that's going on with you. I am getting like international issues, like you're trying to get a visa or something for someone, 1 or 2 of you, or some sort of like permission to leave or enter a region. If that's you, then that could be manifesting in the next 30 to 60 days. Yeah, because you have Between Worlds. I'm seeing embassy for somebody. Okay. Karmic relationships. Okay. So this says Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. So this could be involving either exiting a tenuous situation or encountering one. This could be anything. This could be family, work, another just interaction, someone that, like, you know, if you're in conversations with some sort of immigration lawyers or something like this could be something where you're both learning something from each other. I'm going to get one of the... Whoa, that's too many. Another card from the deck we pulled from. Expression, throat chakra, 3, flower agate. And there's some sort of like, I want to say Chinese symbol here, or like Korean, or hold it really close if you know this, or like, is that Buddhism or Islam? I'm so bad with that. It's like, guys, I'm so sorry. I hope I'm not offending people when I try and figure out what it is, but there's some sort of like non-English symbol. That's what I'm getting, international here. Expression. Okay, yeah. There's something you need to say or express or ask for. Polarity, soul growth. Yeah, this is growth for you. It's something that it's making you a little bit uncomfortable to do because maybe you don't like these type of things. Maybe it's an opportunity, but you're like, oh, I don't know if I want it. Maybe you don't like to travel. Maybe you feel uncomfortable with that. but it's something, there's a treasure there. Like, it doesn't have to be money, but it could be, but there's something there that you want, because there's little starfish and little hearts around this turtle. Ooh. Oh, love. Okay. We haven't had a pile that had to do with love. So now we have karmic relationship and love coming up. This card really rarely comes out of this deck. So this has to do with love. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I would either pick another pile, or, like I said, this could be predictive energy in this group where this is coming in. If you're open to a relationship, because it's opportunity, love. This could be a karmic relationship. Not all karmic relationships are bad. Like, if you're like, I don't want a karmic relationship, it could just be something that your soul wanted to learn, soul growth. This could be a soul mate. This could be you were in a karmic relationship and you learned a lot, and now this treasure love is coming in between worlds. Maybe you're leaving a relationship that really isn't aligned with you, that you feel like is a karmic relationship, and you're moving in towards more of a soulmate relationship. Let's get some clarification. Again, with the accent. Whoa, okay. Don't have to ask me twice. If this, one of these says love, I'm gonna, oh, mystery and ghost. Okay, yeah. Okay. So when I get ghost, either someone passed on, transitioned, and that could be the between worlds that you're asking about, or someone ghosted you, or you ghosted someone, or like just someone disappeared and you're like, okay, they're no longer in my life. That could be the karmic relationship. Like I said, or someone physically is no longer here. And mystery. Okay. Because I was going to say, can we clarify mystery? And then as I was saying, can we clarify mystery? I saw your main card was clarity. So because the mystery is the moon card. Oh, and you have this opportunity card with the moon. So for whatever reason, just some part of this is unclear now, but it will be becoming more clear because you're moving into the sun energy and you're between worlds. So you're going to be leaving that unclarity and you're going to be moving into clarity, moving into the light. And this has to do with love. And that's what we know right now, and possibly travel. So like, what else can we give you here? What are they manifesting in the next? Yeah, we're going to get this deck in the next 30 to 60 days. What's the next big breakthrough? I just heard freedom, like as if it was sung. Freedom! Like, is that a song? Sorry about my singing or whatever. So you're going to be feeling free, whatever this is. Either like you're going through a divorce or a separation, having to do with a karmic, and like new love is coming in, new treasure in your life. But you are going to feel between two worlds. Okay, temptation in reverse. And I recently, like yesterday, put all my cards upright. So I'm taking it in reverse because I don't even understand how it could have turned. So this is the Devil card. The temptation card. The devil's not a bad card. It just means something we feel bonded to, something we feel tied to, something we feel constrained to, something that we have trouble moving away from or, you know, saying no to in our life. But you had it in reverse, which is beautiful. Which means that, and yeah, the freedom. Exactly. It's the complete opposite of bondage, that temptation card. So something that is bonding you. Yeah, like you feel bondage is going to be releasing in this next 30 to 60 days. It's going to break. You're going to break free of it. You're going to be in the sun energy. You're going to feel clear. You're going to feel free to express yourself. You're going to be in the energy of love, whether that's drawing in a loving partner or just self-love and feeling in the energy of love, feeling happy and peaceful and one with the world. But you are in a between worlds energy. So you're moving out of what you're in and moving into this, which is why you're getting this reading, to reassure you and encourage you of that, and that you're on the right path. It is unfolding. You will break free of this thing that you feel attached to, whether it's an addiction, a temptation, a person, a karmic, a place, a scenario. Surrender to spirit. Yeah, okay. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Yeah, let spirit work its magic for you. You could have messages in pile 2 or 3, whatever one you felt drawn to, if you feel drawn to them. More turquoise here. You might want to work with turquoise because now it's in 5 of your cards. Yeah, so at some point, I think if you haven't already, if you're having concern or worry and anxiety, just saying, you know, thy will be done. Whatever you believe in, if if there's nothing else you can do to fix the situation, just trusting that in divine timing it's going to work out. I know that those words feel flat when you really want an answer. I'm going to get you a spirit guide message too. But I don't feel like you have major concern. I feel like you're seeing, I think you did, but I feel like you're seeing indications of this shifting in your direction. You're gaining ground on whatever this thing is. And so I feel like you feel very positive. And be on the lookout for some sort of new opportunity that may pull you forward in this. But for some reason, there is parts of it that are going to be shrouded in mystery for a little bit. It's not going to be completely clear, which is probably why you're getting the surrender to spirit, because a lot of it's probably going to be based on trust, which is why I'm suggesting pile 2 for you, because that theme was out there very heavily. Any spirit guide messages for pile 4 to kind of put them at ease with this situation? Oh, yeah, okay. Oof, yeah, okay. If you find yourself stuck in a situation you are unhappy with, ask yourself, why are you still there? Sorry if that's triggering. Is it fear of the unknown? Leaving toxic situations or people can be the best thing for you that you could do for your soul and your spirit. Be fierce. And then you have this temptation double card in reverse, which means I think you've just made the decision to, or you know that you need to leave a toxic situation. Now, this could be a workplace, this could be a friendship, this could be an environment, this could be a living situation, this could be a relationship. Like I said, the karmic relationship can be anything. That can be a landlord-tenant, that can be a hairdresser, client, that can be a gym that you work out at, and a trainer. Like it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but it can be. Like I said, this could be divorce or separation. I'm going to get you guys one more card. I'm going to get this angel card. Angel Tarot. Can we get a final message for pile 4 about what they're... You got 2. Manifesting. Interesting. Okay, you got the 7 of Michael. And see the figure on the card? See, there's 2 paths. And he's standing at one path, and there's another path. That one path is dark and one path is lightened, and Archangel Michael is over top kind of guiding this figure. And it says there's a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer. Review all the details. So this could be like you're looking for a home, and maybe you're being encouraged to reach out and work with a realtor or someone who knows the market or someone who can provide more options for you. Or this could be, working with a recruiter if you're trying to find a job and you're not having any luck. Or like if it's the immigration thing, reaching out to an immigration lawyer and saying like, hey, I've been trying to apply for these visas and this whatever, and I keep getting rejected. I don't really know how that stuff works, but something like that. It's one of these types of situations, working with some sort of mentor or leader or just person who has advice, or it's just that there's a better course of action, and work with your angels and your guides if you'd rather do things on your own to find another course of action. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell, but it says you can be free. That's what the card says, you guys. 8 of Michael. And we had that freedom. And I started this saying, can free. I can't believe, your energy is so crispy clear. I'm just getting every freaking nugget for you. You can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. So guys, if you weren't sure, if you know what I'm talking about, don't make it fit. If you're happy at your job or happy in your relationship, then it's definitely not that. But if there's something that is a burden, is a temptation that you feel bound to, that is giving you anxiety and worry and you feel not free, Archangel Michael coming out here twice. Look at this. Both, there's lots of suits in this deck. I don't know how many. I think there's 8 or something. But both, Archangel Michael, he's over top of the figure. One's a female, one's a male gender, both indicating you're being watched over. If you're not looking at the camera, I'm holding them up so you can see the similarities. There's a better course of action. You can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation, because you may not be seeing things clearly. I get it. It's so hard. I've been in this situation many times where it's where you have that intuition, that feeling inside of you that something isn't right, that you shouldn't be here, that you should move on, that this isn't right for you, that you don't deserve this, that, you know what I mean? But you, for other reasons, financial or comfort or, fear, it's hard to move out of that situation. That's why it says make it courageous, because it does take courage. Okay, guys, I'm going to close out your reading because a lot came through. I feel it was very clear. If you resonated with this, I hope you found your messages. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff if you felt called to. If not, no worries. I appreciate you letting me read for you either way. That was a really, really lovely, clear reading. I hope you feel empowered and clear on your next steps for your situation and what you're manifesting next. If you are going to another pile, I know pile 2 came up for you, or whichever one you were drawn to, because there was a lot of, not similar messages, but I can see how, depending on what you're going through here, you would, depending on which theme was strongest for you here, the love one or the work one or the whatever, that you could have messages in another group. So trust your intuition on that. And if not, if you're just going there, I'll see you in that group. And if not, I'll see you in another reading on another day. Bye for now.